Hi, welcome back to LBG Reviews. Please be sure to like and subscribe. Now, today we'll be talking about Mario Kart World. However, I'm going to keep today's video fairly short, fairly brief, largely because, well, for one, Mario Kart World doesn't have really any accessibility settings apart from a few things which we'll get to in a second. Number two, a lot of the talking points about Mario Kart World recently have been about the issues with the online mode. I don't really play online Mario Kart, so those issues don't really matter to me. Then thirdly, part of the reason why I'm keeping it brief is because I'm kind of behind schedule. I need to get this voiceover recorded because of travel reasons, going to go see my sister and such. And so I'm a little behind and need to get things done. So anyways, Mario Kart World. The open world Mario Kart game that it had mixed reception and had a pretty divided reviews from the get go. The game is split up into three main modes in single player: Grand Prix, Knockout Tour, and Free Roam. Free Roam has question mark panels for you to run over, P-switch challenges to do, Peach medals to collect, and as long as you obtain a certain amount of them, there isn't a reward for collecting all of them, apart from getting stickers to customize your car. But for getting a certain amount of Peach medals, question mark panels, and P-switches completed, as well as clearing every single Grand Prix and Knockout Tour in 150cc, which is the fastest race mode there is, in the game at least right now. But clearing all those at 150cc and doing all the previously mentioned stuff will result in unlocking the Special Cup, which will unlock Rainbow Road. Now, what did it mean when Mario Kart had accessibility settings in a weird way? So, there isn't like your stereotypical menu that I always hype up, that I always really appreciate the customization option that an accessibility menu can allow for. But there are a few little things. First, there is auto accelerate, so you can let the game accelerate your kart for you. And then, secondly, there is smart steering. Now, it is true that if you want to get good at the game, smart steering should be turned off because it prevents you from doing certain shortcuts and certain techniques that smart steering does not like, because it tries to keep you on the track itself. But for smart steering and auto accelerate, that can free up your hands and lessen the amount of hand movements you need to make to really enjoy the game. You might not necessarily win all the races you play in, but it does give you a nice option to ease up on how much you have to move your hands if you've got, say, repetitive hand strain issues and stuff like that. It does. It does also have options for motion control steering. So, if you were to buy the Switch 2 racing wheel, you could slot in the Switch 2 Joy-Cons and use motion controls to control your kart. Which, depending on how you depending on your needs, that might be the best way for you to steer your kart. Although it's not necessarily linked directly to Mario Kart, I think this is a good time for me to talk about the GL and GR buttons. The GL and GR buttons are a new button that is added for the Switch 2 if you buy the Joy-Con 2 charging grip, or if you have a Pro controller for the Switch 2. And basically the thing with the GL and GR buttons is that these buttons can be mapped through holding the home button, and they are mapped, like basically you can choose what they interact with for each game. So like for Mario Kart World, I've got the GL button set for using items, I've got the GR button used for drifting, because sometimes it's a little annoying to move my fingers into the trigger position. But then like for, say, Donkey Kong Bonanza, I didn't really use the buttons because a lot of the controls were fairly intuitive, and it was rather comfortable to play without them. Now, that's really all I've got to say about Mario Kart World. Again, a very short one because I'm kind of behind schedule. But next week we'll be talking about Tainted Grail, a cool spin on, or correction, Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon. A really cool spin on the King Arthur mythos. I've seen a lot of praise for it online, and I've been having a lot of fun playing it personally. See you guys then. Bye.